Imagine growing up in one of the happiest countries in the world.
So I still feel lonely and that people not always understand me or that I don't understand them.
Yet being bullied and feeling lonely.
So Sweden is great in many ways, but it's also a country where people aren't that social and initiative-taking and not that inviting.
But that makes also, I think, we feel more lonely because we don't have the small interactions.
Elin is one of many youths in Sweden struggling with loneliness. We hear her story and how she managed to break out of this silent epidemic.
My name is Elin and I am 27 this year. I am currently studying to be a sort of treatment person.
Elin also mentors the Youth Advisory Board of Friends, an organization providing adults with tools to prevent bullying among children. This dedication to make the world a better place directly stems from her past.
I have always felt outside in friendships and have hard to make friends, and I have always been putting others before myself, which have made it hard because people have almost exploded that to take advantage of me and my kindness and my willingness to do stuff for them.
In middle school, Elin felt excluded as her friends did not want to hang out with her or work on projects together.
And I got very sad and lonely because they told me they didn't want to be with me and I thought we were friends. I felt like my class didn't include me. Then I felt excluded and bullied by the whole class. And that made me feel lonely.
Sweden consistently ranks top of the charts on happiness and well-being. And yet, feelings of loneliness and isolation in young people are pervasive. Bullying is among the most common factors leading to isolation, alienation, and feelings of loneliness in young people. In Sweden, reported cases of bullying keep growing.
So we see that during the last 10 years, bullying has increased from 60,000 children to 140,000 children every year that state that they're being bullied.
Hanna Rani is a psychologist and colleague of Elin at Friends. Hanna researches how to help children and young people who have been bullied or abused.
And we know that being bullied increases the risk for both mental health, negative mental health, physical health, being alienated and feeling lonely. This is a huge problem that needs to be tackled nationally, but also internationally, because this is a problem that we see growing in most of the countries.
Loneliness and isolation have become growing concerns throughout Europe. A study from the Swedish Public Health Agency shows that almost 25% of Swedes over 16 are affected. But why are people so lonely in one of the happiest countries in the world?
So Sweden is great in many ways, but it's also a country where people aren't that social and initiative-taking and not that inviting.
This lack of social interaction greatly impacted Elin.
And I had so low self-esteem that I didn't have the capacity to include myself. I needed an invite, and I didn't get one.
When you feel shame, you also isolate yourself because you think, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy of this, and maybe you take a step back.
The numbers on loneliness cases in Sweden are especially high among teens and young adults. 1 in 3 people aged 16 to 29 say that they are affected. Hanna might have an explanation.
It is a very individualistic country, and I think Stockholm has the most single households in the whole world. So people are isolated in their own homes, and also the social interactions aren't that natural because you don't have platforms for it. So it makes it harder. So I would say there are many things that makes it harder for an individual to have natural arenas for social interaction in Sweden.
And then there are that Swedish people don't small talk or don't interact with each other if they meet. You should not stand next to someone, you should not sit next to someone in the bus, and stuff like that. And I agree with that stuff because I'm raised here in Sweden. I don't think we should sit beside someone on the bus, for example. But that makes also, I think we feel more lonely because we don't have the small interactions.
Ellen believes other factors contribute to young people's feelings of loneliness.
And I think also that social media makes an impression that you should be in this way to be popular and got more followers and stuff like that.
The internet and social media have created another arena for bullying, impacted many young Europeans daily.
I was also sexually harassed by older students, two in particular. So they used Facebook to write to me and say stuff like, I love you, or I want to be with you, or I want to fuck you. And because I already have so low self-esteem and I already thought that nobody wants me and nobody leaves me and like that. So when they started writing to me that they love me and stuff like that, I was really, really happy. And then there always come the time when they were saying like, oh no, it was just a joke. Or no, it was the other person who wrote on my account and stuff like that.
Ellen didn't have the language to define this experience until much later.
So, but the sexual harassment I didn't realize was bullying because at that time we didn't talk about internet bullying.
Although she struggled to get help, Ellen eventually bounced back. According to Hannah, connecting with people who have overcome isolation can help feeling less lonely. Ellen agrees.
So I think I have my experience will help me to talk to others, and I think if I'm really open with my experience, that can help them to that I can relate to them and stuff like that. I have also experienced that.
The Swedish government has introduced initiatives to combat loneliness. In 2023, it began a 3-year community investment program, including a helpline for children who need someone to talk to and a leisure card to promote meaningful free time activities. But Ellen would like to see the government doing more.
I think they need to take mental health and loneliness and bullying and stuff like that more seriously.
Another necessary step is raising awareness about bullying and harassment.
If you know what you are doing is wrong, or you know that what you are doing is hurting someone else, I think what you are more likely to not do it. But if you don't know or not understand, like I don't think the boys who sexually harassed me in school, I don't think they know how much they hurt me.
Awareness of loneliness and isolation is growing in Swedish society, and Ellen is hopeful that this change will continue. She hopes to be a small part of the solution and looks forward to continuing being a role model for children and young adults struggling with loneliness.